Are you gonna help me with this video? Have you ever been in the middle of a workout and started crying or felt like you wanted to start crying? Me too. More times than I can tell you. And this is actually a really normal thing, and I'm gonna talk about why this happens. So I felt called to make this video for you guys today because when I was going through a really intense healing journey, there was a good year where every time I worked out or did something physical, I would cry. And while it was happening, I just thought that I was being way over the top and dramatic. And so I didn't tell anybody about it. I was just crying by myself. But I've come to learn that this is actually a really healthy process, and it's the body releasing pent-up emotions. It's totally normal to cry or feel like you want to cry when you're working out, because at the base of us, we're feeling emotional beings who are constantly moving and shifting and moving through different emotions all throughout the day. But we tend to store a lot of emotions inside of the body. And so those emotions, if they're not properly processed, will just build up and build up and build up, and they'll come out one way or another. And so one way that the emotions can come out is when we've exhausted ourselves physically. And so when we're in a workout and we're working really hard, we're moving past a plateau, we're pushing our limits, or we're trying something new, this can be really exhausting physically and mentally. And when we're exhausted, that allows space for these unprocessed emotions to come up and out, usually in the form of tears. But tears aren't a bad thing. Tears are actually very healing. And we're kind of taught in our society that that we shouldn't cry, or that tough people don't cry, or big boys don't cry, or whatever. But I challenge that. Tears are incredibly healing. And if we can allow these emotions to come up and out, if we can breathe through them, if we can just allow them to be what they are, they pass so much faster than if we try to shove them down again. A lot of exercises like martial arts or yoga or Tai Chi invite us to be very introspective and go inside and explore the inner workings of the body. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the yoga mat and broke into tears, and luckily I was sweating enough that you couldn't see. But when you're in your yoga practice and in that introspective mode, a lot of my teachers will invite us to really focus on, say, the hips and all of the fascia in the hips, or some joint or some muscle that we're stretching. And you'd be amazed at the emotions that are stored in the connective tissue and in the joints. And when we start to really focus our attention on these areas of the body, you could have memories resurface, some that you haven't thought about in a really long time. You might start replaying things in your mind, and all of a sudden the tears will start. And so it's important when we're in that mode to give yourself permission to feel the feelings, and give yourself permission to let the tears out. Have a good cry. I have a card somewhere that says that self-care is also having a really good effing cry. It actually spells out the swear word, but I'm trying not to swear so much. But self-care is also having a really good effing cry. And just allowing that energy to move, allowing those emotions to come out of you. It's so incredibly healing. And I felt called to make this video because I was on the treadmill the other day, and all of a sudden I'm running and crying. I went from feeling pretty awesome and getting into a runner's high to all of a sudden I'm running and crying. And I've been through this enough now to know that it's just energy moving, emotions releasing. And so I just keep running and I keep crying and I let it come out. I'll slow down and walk if I need to. But usually
I haven't actually set a timer, but I'm sure that if I did, each one of these episodes is only a couple of minutes long. While you're in it, it feels like a really long time, but in reality, it's actually only a couple of minutes. And I can't remember where I read this. I'll find the source for you guys and put it in the description below, but it says that it only takes 90 seconds for emotional energy to fully move through the body if we don't resist it. It takes 90 seconds. And that actually makes a lot of sense, because when I actually actively allow the emotions to move and allow myself to breathe through it, it passes within a couple of minutes. And then I feel clear and free and more alive. So I made this video today to try to normalize this topic a little bit more, because crying while exercising is actually extremely normal. I would say probably if you asked people in your circle, 90% of them will have experienced this, even if they don't admit it. So it's not a bad thing. You're not being over the top. You're not being dramatic or too emotional. All it is your body releasing pent-up energy. And when we exhaust ourselves physically and mentally, or go into a really introspective place, that can open the door for these emotions to come out and be processed. So if you're experiencing this and you feel the urge to cry while you're exercising, I encourage you to just allow yourself to cry. Just allow the energy and the emotions to move through you. Breathe, be present, and just exhale the energy out, let it pass. And if you do this and allow the moment to be what it is, I promise you it'll pass quickly. And then you can finish your workout feeling relieved, feeling like you got a good release, and feeling a bit more empowered. So I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below. It really helps the channel. Same with sharing the videos. Please share this with someone you love, and subscribe down below for more videos like this. I'll talk to you guys soon. Lots of love.